But the scene in which subjective camera is used most effectively is in Clarice's last encounter with Lecter, who's been transferred to a temporary prison. He's persuaded her to reveal painful childhood memories in exchange for his insight into the Buffalo Bill case.
We would usually start out with more conventional coverage and then go into the single, straight into the camera lens, you know, shot. It was not difficult working with it. I felt it was interesting because you're putting characters, you know, you're putting other characters directly in your main character's face.
You were telling me the truth back in Baltimore, sir. Please continue now.
Well, I've read the case files, have you? Everything you need to find him is right there in those pages.
And tell me how.
First, principles, Clarice. Simplicity. Read Marcus Aurelius. Of each particular thing, ask, what is it in itself? What is its nature? What does he do, this man you seek?
He kills women.
As Lecter starts to talk and press his questions, we get closer and closer.
After your father's murder, you were orphaned. You were 10 years old. You went to live with cousins on a sheep and horse ranch in Montana. And
one morning, I just ran away.
The effect is that the bars actually disappear.
That you are.
And there's nothing between them.
At what time?
Early, still dark.
Then something woke you, didn't it? Was it a dream? What was it?
I heard a strange noise.
What was it?
It was screaming. Some kind of screaming, like a child's voice.
What did you do?
I went downstairs, outside. I crept up into the barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I had to.
What did you see, Clarice? What did you see?
Lambs.
Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Except at some point, very important point when she's telling her story, I don't cut to him for some of the questions. The decision to do that is an important decision. By that point, she's so into her story and so involved in her story, it would really interrupt the flow of the scene.
I opened the gate to their pen, but they wouldn't run. They just stood there, confused. They wouldn't run.
But you could, and you did, didn't you?
Yes. I took one lamb and I ran away as fast as I could.
Where were you going, Clarice?
I don't know. I didn't have any food, any water, and it was very cold. It was very cold. I thought if I could save just one, but he was so heavy.
Originally, we were going to have flashbacks. We were going to cut to the little girl leaving the house. We were going to cut to slaughtering lambs. We were going to hear screaming lambs throughout the whole scene, but it just didn't make any sense. You know.
Thank you, Clarice. Thank you.
Tell me his name, Doctor.
Dr. Chilton, I presume. I think you know each other.
Okay.
We found her.
Let's go.
It's your turn, Doctor.
Out.
Tell me his name.
Sorry, ma'am, I've got orders. I had to put you on a plane. Come on now.
Brave Clarice. You will let me know when those lambs stop screaming, won't you?
Tell me his name, Doctor.
Clarice! Your case file. Goodbye, Clarice.
It's the only time they ever have any contact in the film. It's a very powerful moment. This moment, when it was shot originally, was just a grab and go. The finger touch was shot later than the scene.
have taken a movie that's supposedly a thriller and to have 4 scenes that are 6 or 7 pages long of 2 people talking between bars where they don't move and the camera doesn't move is quite courageous. And if it had been done anywhere else, I think with Orion, if it had been done at Disney, for example, the first thing they would have done in that very first development meeting is they would have, all those scenes with those 2 people talking, take them out, And ultimately, I think that's probably what gives the film a certain kind of tension that it wouldn't have had, and a certain kind of idiosyncratic quality. Otherwise, it would have blended into every other movie, about police movie you could think of.
Unlike other thrillers, the filmmakers try to avoid exploiting the victim's fear and do not show Buffalo Bill, also known as Jamie Gum, in action. As a result, he remains something of a shadowy, ambiguous character in the film.
To me, I suppose you could say that Gum is something of a cipher in this movie. He interested me as an object of pursuit. I'm afraid not so much in himself. In fact, for a long time, I toyed with the idea of never even seeing Gum until the Clarice character sees him.
When Out Week, the New York gay magazine, saw Jamie Gum, they saw a viciously stereotyped homosexual psychopath and loudly attacked Jonathan Demme for alleged homophobia. We are not allowed to show you clips of this controversial character for plot reasons.
Jonathan Demme has made a lot of very hip films that people in New York really enjoy. People who are now very angry about this film, I'm sure feel let down. I think you always feel as a community much more let down and angry at people that you expect more from. And I wouldn't doubt that Demme is that sort of person.
I didn't realize that by Gum possessing some traits commonly associated with stereotypical ideas about homosexuality, that he would then be labeled homosexual and a cliche homosexual and so on. He behaves campy in one scene, as in he tries to talk like a woman. He's not trying to be gay, he's not being gay. He's trying to make himself feel that he's a woman, not himself anymore, not he who he loathes anymore, but she who is a new person, unburdened by the history of self-loathing that he has experienced and carries with him.
I think gay people are being able to see that this man isn't really gay. But in the movie theater, they have actually heard people yell out, "Kill that faggot." And it's kind of weird, too, because what that does is, if some people in the movie didn't get it, now it tells everyone else in the theater that this is a faggot.
There are ignorant people that go to the cinema. There are ignorant people that will sit in the audience if they see a homosexual character being beaten up or killed on screen. They will cheer. What can you do? I mean, if you showed Mississippi Burning to a bunch of crackers down south, they would be applauding when the crosses were ignited. There's so many ways that we don't know how cultural artifacts and how books and how movies and how television affect people.
In the context of American culture, where homosexuality is viewed as a disease and as a mental illness, it's extremely easy to say, and this is an example of a mentally ill person who has certain affinities in terms of the way he's depicted to a gay man. He dresses up. I never read him as a gay character in any sense, but that's where the controversy comes in.
From way back in the 50s with Psycho, right in through Dressed to Kill and a myriad of movies through the 70s, we constantly see killers and serial killers who are gay men and many times transvestites. In reality, that is actually very rare, and in fact, I think there aren't many documented cases at all, and in reality, gay men, lesbians, and transvestites are the victims of serial killers.
Since feminists felt that this was their first film that they could feel strongly about in terms of a Hollywood film, feminists have been outraged by that attack.
It's about a female hero, somebody who is the savior of women in peril and who is taking what has been heretofore, the traditional hero character and actually identifying it and pairing it to female form. I mean, it's not like it's a Rambo character, for example, and it's not like it's a sort of whimpering girl who's scared of the monster coming down the stairs. So what you have is a real female hero, and I really don't think that there's been one in a really long time.
The women of this story were a key part of the attraction, not only the Clarice character, but the girl who's been kidnapped and her mother. They're all strong. None of them are made to do anything bimbo-ish or stupid for the sake of the plot.
Okay, precious, time for a little treat. Precious! Are you up there, you little shit? Come and get it, pretty girl. Precious! Come on,
Certain critiques of the film maybe as being like a snuff movie or like yet another movie where women are killed, that were actually coming mostly from men. So you have these feminists who are responding and saying, no, this movie we like. We would like to claim it as like, to some degree, a feminist film because of this character that we haven't seen before, a character who's like not, there's never a time where we really think Clarice is in like sexual danger. You just sort of worry about her being possibly killed, but it's not because of like this idea of a woman being hunted down. In fact, she's like trying to save another woman's life. That's a really unusual scenario.
Maybe for the first time in history that violence against women isn't about sexuality at all. It's about, I want their skin, and that's all there is to it. That it looks at violence in a way that I think is really, really real and graphic and is really about objectification. And people should know that violence and sexuality don't necessarily go hand in hand and that women shouldn't accept it that way and that shouldn't be the subliminal message. So I think that, you know, if you're going to deal with a subject that's controversial and dramatic, then you talk about it, you deal with it, you see it, and you resolve it in a very, very graphic and important way.
You're very frank, Clarice. I think it would be quite something to know you in private life.
Quid pro quo.